Okay. Okay. So Don, take it away. You're introducing Mike.
Oh, are we gonna go to Elizabeth?
Oh, yes. Everyone, note Elizabeth Gutierrez.
And we can highlight her so we can, let's hear the sound.
Okay.
That's fun. All right. Thank you. All
So
right.
now
Don.
I'm up, okay. Okay, you know, many of you may have met Marion and Jim Ildelli, I'm sorry. And they're from Laramie, Wyoming, and they came here every winter for a few years and would stay with Sherry and Dick Thomas. And they ended up going back to Laramie and starting their own PVA, which has been very successful. And one benefit for us out of all of that is to get to know Mike Shermer, whose technical skills kept Laramie moving throughout the pandemic. They had a Zoom meeting every month, just like always. And it's his abilities that have made the meeting possible for us tonight. Mike's a great guy. Most of us have seen him drop in here to talk with us a little bit. He's also in Wyoming, the Sustainable Ecosystem Chair of the Wyoming Food Coalition. He's on the board of the Alliance for Renewable Energy in Laramie. And he's the founder of Wyoming Climate Activists. And among all of that, he found time to meet with a very technically challenged executive committee, except for Cheryl. And he's made this possible. Now he's going to give us a quick orientation of how we do everything tonight. And he also, of course, may step in occasionally if we get off track. So Mike, thank you so much for helping us. And here's Mike.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I just want to give everyone a few instructions. And rather than run the slideshow, I'll just very quickly go through. There's across the bottom of your screen, if you mouse over, you'll see a reactions button. That's where you can find how to raise your hand. You click on that reaction button and you'll see a raise hand feature. I don't know if it'll show up for you on my screen. See, I just raised my hand. And you can lower your hand also that way. The mute and unmute button is on the left bottom side of your screen. And if you want to speak, make sure that you click on the chat and put your name as it shows on your screen. If the correct name's not showing on your screen, if you mouse over your panel, the top right-hand corner, you'll see three little buttons. If you click on those, you can choose rename and put the correct name on there. Having the correct name will make it easier for me to find you in addition to that raise hand feature. And I think that's all the instructions. I am going to stop my video during the show, so it makes it a little easier for me to find other folks. So have a great meeting. And now we're going back to Cheryl.
Okay, so we can get started. Our first person that is in the chat is Eric Walkinshaw. So Eric, raise your hand.
We're getting there.
Okay. Oh, you're spotlighted, so you're good to go for 2 minutes.
Oh, good. You found me right away. Thank you, Mike. Okay. My name is Eric Walkinshaw for some of the people that are new. And I just got no surprise. I've got a comment on the Casa de Peregrinos, which is the food co-op here in Doña County. And I am on the board. So I just have a few updates on that. Well, first of all, I want to thank everyone that's donated to the Casa de Peregrinos for probably the last several years. And of course, we still need donations, not surprising. And but the individual donors have been the highest donors to donate to the CASA, which is appreciated. Food costs are going up, like most people understand that because of the pandemic and the deliveries. And unfortunately, we're not getting as much food rescue from the local grocery stores as we've had in the past. Again, because they've kind of because of the pandemic, they've kind of restocked their shelves in a different kind of format. So we're not able to get much food rescue. So we're having to buy more food ourselves. There are some updates on fundraisers coming up here. There's a hunger strike that starts on 9 o'clock on the 23rd of September and ends on the next day at 9 o'clock. And we're trying to get a lot of people to participate and also have some teams to participate. And what we do is just, we fast for 24 hours. And so the way the fundraiser works is we're asking people in our group to go ahead and donate and sponsor us for that period of time. Whoop, almost done.
2 more seconds.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
2 minutes is
Time.
okay.
Thank you, Eric. The next speaker is Alan Downs. So Alan, raise your hand. Oh, you've got it raised. Thank you. And
My name's Alan Downs, and I want to give you an update on El Paso Electric. The Public Regulation Commission's final decision in the El Paso Electric rate case ordered a rate decrease of a little more than $3.3 million. However, El Paso Electric is challenging the decision in court. I assume EPE will be asking for additional money, and I'm sure it will be a while before we know the result. Meanwhile, the rates approved in the rate case are now in effect. Your electric bills have been decreased due to the efforts of the city, the county, and individual interveners, Phil Simpson and Mary Lee Souls. In another case, El Paso Electric has asked for permission to abandon one of its oldest gas-fired steam plants, known as Rio Grande 6. Parties to this case, including El Paso Electric, the city, and Mary Lee Souls, have worked out a compromise whereby Rio Grande 6 won't be abandoned until solar and storage replacement resources are up and running. Today, there was a hearing on the agreement, and I believe the commission is going to accept the compromise. El Paso Electric's transportation electrification plan is currently being considered by the PRC with the goal of encouraging residents of our area to buy electric cars. One of its provisions is a rate rider that will allow electric car owners to pay less than 1 cent per kilowatt hour for electricity used between midnight and 8 a.m. So get an electric car and save on your electric bill. So next time you see a city councilor or a county commissioner, please thank them for their part in saving New Mexico ratepayers millions of dollars per year going forward. And don't forget Mary Lee's battle cry, no more fossil fuel generation. Thank you.
thank you, Alan.
Perfect. That's time.
You just came in, and if you want to speak, then put your name in the chat box as it's seen on the screen. Okay, so next is Becky Karan, and I see that you already have your hand raised, so that she is next. Okay, go ahead, Becky.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thanks for setting us up. And Mike, thanks for getting us all in this Zoom world. My name is Becky Korn. I'm running for Las Cruces City Council, District 5. As your city councilor, I wish to really focus on a number of things that are particular to District 5 in particular. A lot of development, as you all have seen, and as continues to happen, making sure that our planning and implementing Elevate Las Cruces and the ways that we're thinking about how we grow both outside and the city, or sort of in the city limits, and how we work on the interior parts of Las Cruces to complement the extraordinary growth that's happening in this district in particular. Really collaborating with community members to make sure that their voices are included in the conversations about how we grow. Another priority, I really hope that we can focus on an economic recovery that's focused on the potential and unlocking the potential of all folks in the city of Las Cruces. That means thinking about people who have been historically marginalized, people who have not been able to access jobs that allow them to sort of take care of their families, afford housing that many of us enjoy, and making sure that we provide some space for business encouragement of businesses that allow that sort of unlocked potential in our economic recovery. And then the final key thing that I think is critical to and complementary to those last two priorities is thinking about how the city of Las Cruces' impact on climate change, everything from the ways that we sort of go through our planning, the ways that we think about reducing sort of our direct impacts in terms of reliance on fossil fuels, and how we plan communities to do things like.
That's time. Finish your sentence. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Next up is Becky Graham.
Do you have your hand raised?
I do.
Joanne, could you lower your hand?
There you are. Oh, I see you. There you are.
Mike, Becky
There you
still,
go.
oh, there we are.
And I have a slide to share.
You should be able to do that.
Great. And hopefully everyone is seeing my slide now.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. I am Becky Graham. I'm a candidate for Las Cruces City Council in District 3. I'd just like to introduce myself to those who I've not yet met. I've had the opportunity to meet a few of you already, give you a little background on myself. One of my main priorities, echoing Becky, equitable economic development opportunities. So some districts in the city are growing much faster than others. In District 3, we could use a little more help in terms of capitalizing on what we already have. So for instance, the El Paseo Solano Revitalization Corridor project that current District 3 Councilor Gabe Vasquez has really championed. I'm also very interested in continuing the City Council's incredible work on increasing minimum wage, moving toward living wages, and making sure that the hard work that the residents of District 3 and our entire community really does benefit them. I'm also interested in innovative solutions to public safety challenges. I am married to a Las Cruces city firefighter, and I think a wonderful example of a program that has been doing some innovative solutions for challenges is the Mobile Integrative Health Unit program. I can share some information on that later in the chat. Basically, this is a program through which folks who were using the 911 system because it was their only opportunity to reach out for help, we're using that for things that were not necessarily emergencies. So the fire department put together teams of paramedics and social workers who would reach out to these folks in advance and connect them with the resources that they needed. I think that this is a wonderful program model that we can expand into. Oh, sorry, was that time?
That was time, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Becky, please, there you go. Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. So next up is Bob Wofford. Bob, can you raise your hand, and Gil, can you lower your hand? There we go. Hi, Bob. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Bob Wofford. I am running for the school board position, which Maria Flores has decided not to seek. I'm a retired English teacher, having taught at Cruces High for over 30 years. For the past 15 years, I've been a college board consultant in AP English, teaching teachers how to teach advanced placement. I also consult for the National Math and Science Initiative. While at Cruces High, I sponsored the Amnesty International Club for over 30 years and the Gay Straight Alliance for the last several years of my teaching. For the past, I would like to serve on the school board because we need to support our teachers. The key to a relationship is a teacher with a student in the classroom. The involvement of parents also being critical for success. And then a school board that shares a progressive vision. There are many flashpoints in our culture wars, and school boards sadly have become one of them. For example, common sense and science should dictate how we treat safety in our classrooms, keeping students and teachers safe. We require helmets on the football field, even though we know some kids are going to get concussions. Until we're past this pandemic, we should follow best practices to keep all schools safe. Though I am retired, I still have more to give. Fortunately, the school board is an unpaid position, so I will have the opportunity to give and to serve with good humor if I'm elected. I seek to share my experience to work with all people in the education community to make our schools the best. I would also like to endorse Pamela Court for the school board position District 2. We'd make a great time. I am Bob Wofford. If you want to be involved with my campaign, please check out the chat right now, and there's a Google link to sign up. If we're to win this election, I need your help. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Connie Chapman. So Connie, can you raise your hand and unmute yourself?
Doing as we speak. Oops, reaction.
fine.
There I am. Am I
Is that
on?
the right
Yep.
person?
No, that's Cheryl. Carry on.
We're up into. Okay, hang on a second.
I don't mind not being on camera.
Are you or?
I'm in my own little box, but not on the big screen. So I'm good. I have a short announcement to make. How's that? I wanted to say that this coming Saturday on the 28th, that Yvonne Flores, re-election for District 6 City Council. We're meeting at 9:30 at the Sam Craft Park, which is just off Sonoma Ranch Boulevard, and it's not far from the DACC campus. And if anybody has any questions or wants to connect, I'll put my phone number in the chat box. I also am helping both Becky Graham for District 3 that you just heard of previously, and Becky Corn for District 5. So anybody who wants to help with any of those 3 elections, they can just call me and I'll make sure we get connected and we'll get it all done, and we'll get all these wonderful women on the council and keep moving Las Cruces forward. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Next up is Craig Fensky. So Craig, can you raise your hand? Unmute yourself. All right. Oh, you need to unmute yourself. Okay.
I muted myself. I'd like to share my screen.
Okay.
It's really great to be back with PVA, so I appreciate having everybody here. I'm the supervisor for the Doña Soil and Water Conservation District, and we started a process to plan a program called Master Watershed Conservationists just before COVID started. And then we moved our planning to Zoom, and we're kicking off our program with a series of 8 forums over the next 9 months. And the first forum is going to be September 9th. It was going to be at the Rio Grande Theater, but now it's moved to Zoom. And so we're looking forward to that. The first one is called The Future of Our Watershed in the Hatch and the Sea Valley. Connie Maxwell from the New Mexico Water Resources Research Institute is the organizer for this panel and has brought together 8, I think, really excellent people that are knowledgeable about our watershed, south of Caballo down to the Texas border. But Gary Esslinger, EBID, Jeff Woody with the New Mexico Department of Agriculture, Kevin Bixby, who's also a soil and water supervisor and head of Southwest Environmental Center, John Gwynn, who's been really busy with county, with the flooding, with the flood commission for the county, Gil Sorg, county city councilor, Steve Wilmoth, a conservationist that's ranches west of town, and a BLM representative, Don McClure. So I think there'll be an outstanding panel of people, but it kicks off a series of 8 panels about our watershed, and it's got an active volunteer component. We're asking people that participate to pay back by participating in advocacy for the watershed, restoration of the watershed, and hands-on kinds of projects. The Soil and Water Conservation site has the registration and the link to participate, daswcd.org. So hope you can join us. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have Joanne Ferrari. Oh, okay. Craig, could you stop sharing your screen?
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
And if you want to talk for 2 minutes, please put your name in the chat box, and please let me know if I skip you or anything like that. I'm trying to go in the order in which you signed up. Okay, Joanne, take it away.
Oh, thanks everyone. I'm so glad to be here and wish we could be in person. Our Health and Human Services Committee has just gone from meeting in person and going back to being in the Capitol and Zooming. So I know how this is for everyone to kind of look forward to being together. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm in the interim committees working hard with the Legislative Education Committee, the study committee, and also with Legislative Health and Human Services as a member. They combined the disabilities concerns that I was chair of and the Behavioral Health Committee all together. So we're meeting in one group. I'm also working on the Radioactive Hazardous Waste Materials Committee that Senator Steinborn is chairing. Also, I'm co-chair of the Tobacco Settlement Revenue Oversight Committee, where we're trying to make sure that we are taking the funds and using them responsibly to help with some of the health services and cessation and prevention programs that we so desperately need in our state to reduce tobacco use. Also, I'm on the Ethics Committee and as a member. And also I'm working on things that legislation that I've worked on for like guardianship, kind of revamping some more the guardianship program, having a pilot program in the courts that will help make sure that we aren't having guardians as predators, and that we do have oversight on the programs that are court ordered. Also, along that same line, I wanted to tell you real quick that I am running for my 4th term, and I am glad to tell you all that you're the first to know. This is my first announcement. So I'm so happy to be running for a 4th term to continue all of this work. And if you want to make a contribution to my campaign, because it costs so much to put these on, you can go to Joanne, the number 4, newmexico.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Okay, next up is Rich Renner. Okay. You're on, Rich.
Okay, so Rich Renner from Results Las Cruces, which is an advocacy group. and the development of safe, effective vaccines against the deadly pandemic less than a year after it emerged was made possible because of public investment in science and technology. And we know that effective vaccines can end this pandemic, but they're not being produced rapidly enough or being distributed to everyone who needs them. In the US, we've vaccinated over 50% of the population, yet many low-income countries, it's only about 1% because they don't have access to the vaccine. When a representative group of likely voters was asked if the US should help other countries struggling with COVID, and if the US should distribute vaccines, and if the US should be a global leader on ending the vaccine, the pandemic, they overwhelmingly voted in favor of that, despite across party lines. Okay, and we need to make enough vaccines for everyone, and to do it as fast as possible. So we need many more manufacturers around the world. So the action that I'm asking you to take is to urge our senators, our representatives, and President Biden two things: to provide funding to scale up production, and to share the vaccine technology and licensing of the intellectual property with other nations and companies. We're not safe, even if we're vaccinated, if everyone is not vaccinated. So rapid and equitable vaccine distribution in countries in greatest need is needed now. And President Biden can get companies to share the technology, either using his moral authority or existing legislation, including the Defense Production Act. So thank you for taking action.
Thank you, Rich. All right, next up is Peter Goodman. So Peter, can you raise your hand? Oh, nice. Okay, and you're on.
Thank you. Like many others, I'm going to beg for money. As a lot of you know, one of the things I do is I helped found and still do a radio show on KTAL, Las Cruces Community Radio, 101.5 FM. And want to make sure you know one of the things we're going to be doing over the next few months is candidate fora, a forum for each of the local races, including inviting all the candidates who've spoken and the others who will shortly. It struck me as everybody spoke, I started making notes, and I want to invite, I guess Eric spoke about Casa de Peregrinos, invite you to come on and speak briefly about the fundraisers in September. Well, Rubel's doing our scheduling now, but pretty much everybody has been on our show. Some of you as many as a dozen times, or half dozen at least. And I want you to think about, if we fail, who does that? Maybe a fundamentalist church. That was our competition for that license to do a low power radio station. Maybe the Tea Party, maybe a wealthy conservative, the folks who gave us the recall city council. And we are nonpartisan, but we're journalists and we're serious about trying to get to the truth on things, whether that helps or hurts our friends. And I think that's worth contributing to. Don't know how much time I have, so I better say the website, www.lccommunityradio.org, and you can contribute there. You can also find out what shows we're doing, go to the archives, and that sort of thing. You can also mail us a check. The address will be on the website, but I'll also briefly mention it's 121 Wyatt Drive, Space 9, Las Cruces, New Mexico, 88005, I think. But you can send us a check, Las Cruces Community Radio. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. The next person is Mary Beth Halsey. So Okay, yes. And so you're raising your hand. Okay. You're good. Oh, and you have to unmute yourself.
My technical hand doesn't work, sorry. So there's so many good causes here. My concern is the For the People Act, S1. I've been phone banking for it for months, and so have a lot of other people, but not enough. Okay. So I just want to suggest, again, money if you can't phone bank. But there's not so many people showing up at the phone banks right now. Of course, it's vacation time. But I just really want to suggest that if you do have some discretionary time, I can't say free time, to think about that, because I feel like it's sort of an overarching issue. And if For the People doesn't pass, a whole lot of things are going to be so much harder, and a lot of people are going to be disenfranchised. So thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Next up, Mike is coming in to make a short announcement.
Thanks, Cheryl. I think a number of people have noticed that they can put links and websites and other information in the chat. So I just wanted to encourage folks that have that, like our last speaker, go ahead and put information in the chat if you're interested in doing that. And
Thank you. Next up is Yvonne Flores, but under her face says Connie Chapman. So
okay.
Connie's house. But she's Yvonne and she has her hand raised.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Wait till your
Yes.
picture gets big. Oh. Tell me when I can start.
Go ahead.
Now.
Hi, everybody. I'm Yvonne Flores, City Councilor for District 6. And I am running for re-election. And the reason I'm doing that is because I love what I'm doing. Originally, I thought I would only be running one term. And the more I worked on the projects I've been working on and what I would love to see come to fruition during my term, it just doesn't happen at City Hall. The wheels of progress turn very, very slowly. Nonetheless, I'm tenacious, and I was very happy to see that some of the resolutions and proclamations which I introduced did come to fruition as ordinances, and some of them were taken to Santa Fe, which also became law. One of them, of the most important, is it's called the Right to Die Act, but it's a lot more complicated than that. So I am the liaison, City Council liaison to the Airport Advisory Board, as well as to the City Art Board. And both boards have been wonderful to work. It's been wonderful to work with city staff and the public. And the airport is literally taking off. There's been a lot of innovative activities, and I'm part of the Airport Alliance in addition to being the city representative to the Art Board, excuse me, the Airport Board, Advisory Board. I think one of my big successful, it was really a coup around the TID, the Tax Increment Development District, which was initially, we have one downtown, which is the public TID. And the statute allows for private. And that was that big fiasco that a lot of community people became involved with over at the Three Crosses, the old Las Cruces. But anyway, I'm seeking for re-election. I'll be back to talk to you a little bit more. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Laura Montoya.
Hi, everyone. So being that I don't know many of you, I'm going to give you a brief background. My experience.
Can you raise your hand?
Do you
so-
see me?
So the person on the screen. is-
Laura,
Yeah, I'm on the
Laura-
screen, but I'm a different Laura.
Yes,
Not Laura Montoya.
Laura Montoya does not have videos. Oh, now she is. There you are.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Laura.
Had
okay,
to put-
sorry about that. Thank you. Go ahead.
I had to put you on my phone and my screen because for some reason the screen wasn't working, and I wanted you to be able to see me as much as to be able to see all of you, since I haven't met many of you before. I am the former Sandoval County Treasurer. Many of you who might have gone to Buffalo Thunder at our last SEC might remember me from running for Congress with one of 7 other candidates at that time, and there were 2 of us that got the 20% to get on the ballot. So I'm Laura Montoya. I'm a candidate running for state treasurer. I put my contact information in the chat. I have 23 years of government experience at the federal, state, and local level. Being the county treasurer in the fastest growing county in the state of New Mexico, I have managed about 50 million in non-property tax, 1.2 billion in property taxes with a 99.37% collection rate. And I invested over $40 million on behalf of the county. We got 4 clean audits in the county, full clean audit this last year in 2020. I have a lot of ideas for the state treasurer's office. I used to work there on the executive under Douglas Minge Brown after the person prior to that was incarcerated. And so I learned very quickly the importance of transparency and being able to communicate and have really good standard operating procedures so that you can always be a good public servant for the people that are asking you to represent and serve them. I would love to have all of your support. I'd love to meet all of you soon when it becomes a little bit more safer. But I have been someone who has been dedicated to public service and also helping other strong Democrats that I truly believe in that can serve in different capacities in our communities. So I've been an active Democrat. My first campaign I ran was when I was 18. I'm from Northern New Mexico, graduated with my bachelor's degree in political science and psychology and my master's in public affairs. Worked at the New Mexico legislature for about 13 years, both in the House and the Senate. And I worked for US Senator Jeff Bingaman back when I was working on my master's before leaving to Costa Rica on a Rotary scholarship to study international relations and Spanish. I put a lot in there in 2 minutes, but I thought it would be fun to try to spit quite a bit to you all in that time frame. Have a good evening.
Good job.
Okay, so next up is Cheryl Carrion. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam Summers. Sorry, I'm one ahead.
Don, you're having too much fun with this.
Okay, Adam has his hand raised.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. I'm Adam Summers. I'm the secretary of the Democratic Party of Doña County. And like a lot of other people here tonight, I'm here to talk about elections. There's 28 elections throughout the county that are being contested this November. And I don't have to tell anyone on this call how important our local officials are to our everyday lives. The decisions they make impact us directly. So obviously the county party has a vested interest in ensuring that progressive values are reflected up and down the ballot in all of these elections. So what I'm here tonight to do is to ask you to help us make that investment. We've started an initiative to support campaigns throughout the county to ensure they have the resources they need to succeed, to make sure that the community's values are being reflected in every office, in every corner of Doña County. We're about 30% of the way to our initial goal, which is really great in the couple weeks of fundraising we've done. I'm really hoping each and every one of you will consider investing in this program. Everything that gets donated to this fund goes directly back into campaigns in the county. So it's a really worthwhile cause. We're really hoping to make a difference and ensure that all of the wonderful candidates on this evening get elected. So I'll go ahead and put the link to donate in the chat, as well as my phone number and my email. And if you have any questions or you'd like to talk to me about it further, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Adam. Okay, next is Cheryl Carrion, and she has her hand up. Okay, go ahead, Cheryl.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Cheryl Carrion, and I was a 31-year educator. I stopped by and visited lots of times, even though you guys stay up late on school nights. I recently retired, and so I'm working harder than ever. And I still work with NEA New Mexico, organizing and doing social media, as well as with community schools. So super excited to start a job with that. I was so excited when I found out that my friend Pam Court was running for School Board District 2. Pam has been a lifelong educator. She came before me as Teacher of the Year for LCPS, and just an incredible educator. In the district, she also was a member of NEA and worked closely with them. So I know she understands worker rights. She understands really the needs of the educators and the staff in our district. And as a French teacher, she understands the importance of being bilingual and what that means for our students. The current school board appointed her when the last candidate did step down. And she's already been jumping in, visiting all different places. She really understands what equity means and the equity needs of the students that aren't benefiting from our system. And sadly, if you've watched a school board meeting, you know it's become very hot. It's been really sad to see the word equity become a bad word for some people. And so Pam really believes in and understands the social needs, the social justice needs of our district, the safety needs of our district, and really understands our community. She communicates so well with her students. She still has students that are her friends and parents that just really appreciate her work. And I've seen that over and over. So I am asking for your support for her and just appreciate all you all do to help our community in so many different ways. Thank you. Was I under 3 minutes? I talk a lot. I'm surprised.
You were exactly 2 minutes. Perfect.
Good job. All right, next up is Pamela Court, and she has her hand raised. Okay, go ahead, Pam.
All right. Well, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone in the Progressive Voter Alliance for listening to me today. I really appreciate it. And Cheryl, wow, thank you. That was amazing. So as you know, my name is Pamela Court, and I have been serving on the board for a month. It's been a very interesting month and will continue to be so. But I would like your support in the November election to continue my service in the school board on District 2. So as Cheryl said, and the same with me, I have been teaching in the public schools, in the New Mexico public schools for 31 years, 26 of which were in Las Cruces. I'm the granddaughter, daughter, and mother of public school educators. So I know the whole, I've lived it my whole life. And so although I retired in May 2019, I've continued to work in education through my involvement with professional teacher organizations and creating professional development opportunities for educators through NEA New Mexico EL3. My next step, I believe, in my educational journey is to become a Las Cruces, or to continue to be a Las Cruces Public School Board member for District 2, because I will never forget that kids come first, always. So during my time as a French teacher, I worked tirelessly for my students in the classroom, and I also worked on school governance. The students were the reason I went to work every day and stayed an educator for 31 fantastic years. And in 2012, I had the honor of being selected as the Las Cruces District Teacher of the Year. And in 2013, I was selected as the New Mexico Teacher of the Year. And my experiences as Teacher of the Year have allowed me to gain a more expansive national view of education and a greater appreciation of how state and district policies directly affect the student population. And as a language educator, I promoted cultural and linguistic diversity in my teaching, prompting my English language learners to become leaders in my classroom. I just completed my EDS degree. Well, actually, that was in 2018. Feels like I just did. But in culturally and linguistically responsive teaching. And so I hope that I have your support. I appreciate everything that you all do, and thank you for letting me speak today.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Ali Scotton, and he has his hand raised.
Hello, I'm Ali Scotton. I'm talking on behalf of the Truman National Security Project, which is a national organization of security analysts, current government, and former government officials, as well as military veterans. And we've been heavily involved in the Afghan evacuation efforts. And as many of you know, we have tens of thousands of Afghan refugees who are currently being housed at both Holloman and Fort Bliss bases, and they're going to need a lot of help in the future to be resettled. The Las Cruces City Council will be voting on a resolution welcoming the Afghan refugees on Monday. And there's also a resolution underway being drafted by the county commission. And so I'd really like to encourage all of you to contact your city councilors and your county commissioners to urge them to vote yes on this resolution, because these people really need our help. They're escaping horrendous situation, and they're going to need all the help we can give. And the organization that's most likely going to be taking the lead on resettling these refugees is the Lutheran Family Children's Services. So I'd also like to highly encourage you all to donate to that organization. I don't have the link with me right now, but I will put that in the email follow-up. It's a link for donations to that organization to help them with the relocation and resettlement efforts. Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Amy Simpson, and you are good to go.
I screen share too.
Oh, yes.
That'd be awesome. As I do that, I want to just put in a plug for both Pam Court and Bob Wofford, two phenomenal educators who have made differences in the lives of, between the two of them, 12,000 kids, right? Over 30 years, 200 kids a year. So they are incredible people, incredible educators, and so happy to have them step forward and do this. All right, so am I good screen sharing?
I don't see it. Okay.
Not now. Does that work?
Yes, now I see.
Okay. All right, sorry. So this is, I wanted to do a very fast presentation around a road diet. And I'm just going to give you a truncated version that no matter what side of town we live on, whether we own or walk or ride, we all deserve safe streets. And we have the right to be safe. Our neighborhoods right now are disconnected because of rampant speeding, unsafe crossings, and in general places, streets that are not safe to walk along. We, during the pandemic, we have noticed, and it's been documented, that pedestrian fatalities have increased nationally, and New Mexico is #1 in the country for pedestrian fatalities. We've been #1 for 4 years in a row, and that is unacceptable. Just during the last 10 months of the pandemic, we had 9 accidents and 7 were fatal. We saw all the headlines. 2 during Martin Luther King weekend, and of course our superintendent. One of the most important ways that we can prevent pedestrian deaths is slowing vehicles down. Wow.
Sorry, but your time's up.
Oh, okay, let me drop in some links.
Okay.
I was screwing around
Sorry.
trying to get these. Let me just put the links in.
It happens, yeah.
That's okay. I've got 3 things to put in here. City Council is considering a road diet. There's the petition, resolution, coalition, and presentation.
Thank you. Next up is Elisa Sanchez.
Cheryl, you're skipping me.
Oh, I'm gonna throw Elisa in there because she has her hand raised a lot, so we wanted to get her in there. But I will come back to Antoinette. Thank you for letting me know, though.
There we go.
Okay, go ahead, Elisa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I lost you all of a sudden. Buenas noches, everybody. My name is Elisa Sanchez, and I am a native New Mexican. I educated in the schools here from first grade to a graduate program at Western. My concern is that all of us need to step up to the school board. You know, the school board is really under a huge attack from people that have all kinds of misinformation. They passed the equity policy, which is really, really, really important. And in that sense, equity really, it doesn't mean nibble around the edges. New Mexico is at the bottom of the scale. And the only way that we're going to change that is to become a truly multilingual, multicultural state curriculum that is decolonized. Because the system that exists today is a system that is used to assimilate us, which means that we need to forget who we are. We need to forget our language in order to, what the school says, to be successful. And that is not true. I have fought that my entire life. I am bilingual. I will be bilingual till the day I die. And it has worked. It's been a plus in my life. And I really, really would say to the people that are running, it sounds like you're all good people. And I know that you need help. So for all the PVA members, I would just like to say, go to the school board members and support the equity policy. That is absolutely crucial. It's crucial to everything we do. We can talk about climate change, anything. Education is fundamental. Why can't our kids read in the 4th grade? That is unacceptable. And I can tell you, I have been educated in this system. The only time I saw myself reflected anywhere in the curriculum was when I was in the 4th grade. I was 9 years old, and trust me, that was a long time ago. And we had New Mexico history for 1 year, and I saw people whose names sounded like mine, and it made me like unbelievably proud. And you know, we really need to do something about this, and we need our leaders to step up.
That's time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Antoinette Reyes.
Hi, everyone. Some of you may know me. I am currently, I'm now an organizer with the Sierra Club. I have a couple of announcements. One of them is, I might go off screen a little bit. I'm going to read from another page. We recently secured an agreement with El Paso Electric with the help of the Chaparral Coalition for Community Health and the Environment and Earthworks and the Environmental Integrity Project. In the agreement, El Paso Electric agreed not to construct any new fossil fuel units anywhere for the next 4 years. And this is after 1 unit that they plan on building right now. And they also committed to retiring 2 existing gas units that were built before the passage of the Clean Air Act of 1970. So they lack basic emission controls. And they also committed to reducing carbon dioxide pollution from the Newman power plant near Chaparral in Northeast El Paso, as well as reducing nitrous oxide pollution. And they've also created a fund to support Chaparral and mitigate the local effects of pollution. And they also are dedicating about $500,000 to reducing ozone forming VOCs across El Paso County and southern New Mexico. And then another thing that I wanted to announce was that we have a couple of volunteer opportunities in Las Cruces. We're currently looking for mentors for a program we have called the Global Warming Express. It's an after-school program for 4th to 6th graders. It's around the state. We used to have one in Las Cruces, but they had to shut it down because of a lack of mentors to go in the schools with the kids. The kids end up choosing what projects they work on and what they're interested in. A lot of the time they end up lobbying and advocating for issues that they're passionate about, among doing other things. And we also have some other volunteer opportunities based on different issues. I will drop my information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Antoinette. Okay, next up is Gil Sorg.
Thank you, Cheryl. Uh-oh. There. First of all, I want to announce that there is no city council meeting this coming Monday, the 30th. The next city council meeting will be on the 7th of September. Then I wanted to say that after 12 years and three 4-year terms, I am not going to run for re-election in the city council this year. A lot has happened in the last 12 years. I think we've gotten a lot of good things done. A lot more needs to be done, of course, and both Beckys that are running, you heard tonight, will make good city councilors. So I want to put a shout out to them to have everybody support our 2 Beckys that are running for the city council. But you're not going to get rid of me completely. I've been asked to run for the Doña Soil and Water Conservation District seat. It's number 3, I believe. I don't know how they're going to put it on the ballot because when they put it in the paper, they just bundled us all together in one list. So I don't know why. So anyway, that's what's going to come up this November, Soil and Water Conservation District. And so we'll see you next year. Oh, wait, one more thing. I hope in the next couple months, though, we can start meeting in person. I'm watching the numbers, and if the numbers can go down, perhaps we can. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, the picture behind me is the construction of our city plaza, the Las Cruces Plaza downtown. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Gil. So the next person is Kurt Anderson. And he is the last person I have on my list to speak once. If you want to speak, put your name in the chat box right now, and otherwise we will go into second rounds. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Kurt.
I'm Kurt Anderson. I'm currently one of the supervisors for the Doña Soil and Water Conservation District. And I'm speaking on behalf of 2 candidates. There are currently 4 slots, not 5 as the newspaper indicates. There are 4 slots open, and they're apparently going to vote them all at large. The 2 candidates I wish to solicit support for are someone you all know, namely Gil Sorg, who has a background in agriculture as well as in the city. The other is Joshua Switzer, whom you probably have met, even if you don't know him. He is a local farmer. He sells his produce at the farmer's market regularly. And there are, to add to the confusion, there are actually 4 candidates on the ballot. I recommend you cast your votes for these 2. Okay. I think one of the candidates that's listed on the ballot is in fact a mistake. I think she's really running for a different soil and water conservation district. See how that gets straightened out come election day. Again, Gil Sorg and Joshua Switzer are the 2 candidates I wish you to consider. Thanks. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, so that is everyone I had on the list. Did I skip anybody? Let me know. And then otherwise we'll go to Eric Walkinshaw.
There I am.
Sorry.
I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to, I put in the chat some important contacts for both the hunger strike, and I wasn't able to mention the Southwest Center for Aging, and luckily we're all aging and not the other option. It's a charity golf tournament at I think it's at Sonoma Ranch, a golf course, and 50% of the take for the revenue is going to the Casa de Peregrinos. So that's a big deal. And I've got it on the chat who you should contact. It's our program manager, Bianca, and I've got her email address there too. And if anyone has any questions to me, my address, my email is EJ period and then last name spelled WALKINSHAW 65@gmail.com. Thank you.
Okay, next for round 2 is Amy Simpson. Okay.
Trying this. Yeah, great. Thank you, everybody. Sorry about that earlier, trying to do 2 messages in one presentation. The quick update on the road diet that I wanted to give is on Alameda is that I don't know if you can see this, but when neighbors complained about speeding, the police put up a speed monitor, and these are some of the results. Massive speeding. Can you all see that? Hopefully.
Yes.
So it's a very serious problem. The city council is considering a resolution for a road diet, which would turn those 4 lanes into 2 lanes plus a turn lane. What we are wanting the city to do is committed to resurface the road and do a traffic study. But we've already had 52 weeks of a traffic study from the police department, which counted every car and at every speed that is passed through Alameda in this section. And we would like the city to simply repaint the road, restripe it when it is being resurfaced. This will make it safer. It will slow down traffic, and it will provide a buffer for pedestrians with a bike lane on each side, a turn lane, and make it safer for pedestrians, cyclists, and people wanting to cross Alameda. It would mirror the configuration of Alameda from the north side of Picacho. That would be, we're talking about from Picacho to like Main Street or Amador, something like that. So we wish that you would please reach out to the city council and ask the city to use this road resurfacing as the opportunity to actually do to test out the road diet while restriping at the same time, instead of waiting for 7 years for full reconstruction. That's it. And I put petitions and links and more information about this in the chat. Sorry to take so much extra time.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Don Kurtz. Don, can you raise your, oh, you got, okay, you're good.
Okay. I wanted to take a moment. First of all, it's wonderful to see everyone. It's just so great to see you and hear of all these, everybody in their own way, a champion in our community. And I also just especially want to say how thrilled I am with our candidates that have emerged for these elections. You know, that Yvonne has been a hero on the city council, that she's willing to go another round is fabulous. Both Beckys are exceptional young women, very, very, very well qualified. Our school board candidates, 2 heroes, you know, Bob and Pam are teaching and well loved by their students and would be wonderful leaders. And then, of course, another icon, Gil Sorg in the soil and water, and Josh, a young farmer that's going to be part of this. So I'm just so proud of that. And I think the task for all of us then is over the next couple of months to talk these people up with our friends. And when conversations at the dinner tables, you know, or you're having dinner with friends, say, hey, you know, there's some really great people running for city council, or there's some great people running for school board, and either enter the conversation or start it. And that's how we can help these people. You know, November, whatever election day is in November, it's going to be a fabulous day if we can elect these fine candidates. So that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you, Don. Okay, so that is all that I have that requested to talk in the chat. Is there anybody else Is there anybody else that wanted to say something?
I
Yes.
would, Cheryl.
Oh,
This
yeah.
this is Elizabeth. I didn't get on the chat. I'm sorry. Shannon could go, I guess.
Okay, so we'll go Shannon and then Ann.
I just want to say thank you all for participating in this meeting and all the great information that you've provided. And it's, what, I really missed this group. I think we've all missed each other. So I think it's time for us to start getting back in action and getting things together. And these races that are coming up, they are very important. As a matter of fact, all up and down the ballot, all up and down the state. We're going to get redistricting. Redistricting is happening later on this year for next year as well. So we have to get a head start on that. We've got a couple of candidates running in CD2 that I've heard from. So I think we've got a lot that we have to accomplish over the next year. And certainly we've got to get through this race for the city first. But as soon as we do, we've also got to get focused on next year, because that's really going to be real important for the state as we redistrict everything, including county seats, state seats, pretty much the whole state. So anyway, thank you all for everything you do, your commitment to making this a better place, a better county, better state. I really appreciate it. That's all.
Thank you, Shannon. Okay, Ann, who is listed as Elizabeth.
Okay.
Can you raise your hand?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not in the chat. Hang on a second.
Oh, there you go. We've got you.
Okay. I'm on.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Gutierrez, but everybody knows me as Ann. I just wanted to say that, Maria Flores, Senora Flores, as she's known, served 12 years and 6 months on the Las Cruces Public School Board. And I think we all owe her a debt of gratitude for the fine work that she's done on the board all those years. She has been a champion for all the children, the teachers, and the staff of the Las Cruces Public Schools. She studies what is before the board. She deliberates. She thinks about what's best for the children and votes her conscience. I think she's been such a fine public servant in our community, and I just want to thank her. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Peter Goodman.
I didn't hear that, Cheryl.
Oh,
Could
yes, you got it. Peter Goodman, who has his hand raised.
Okay, great.
Hi, am I on? This would have been more effective if I could have found what I was looking for, but I just wanted to, I love everything I've just heard, and I wanted to commend to everybody, particularly the school board candidates, the Hagar the Horrible cartoon in this morning's Las Cruces Sun News, which is just one panel. And in the left, Hagar is arriving and saying, "I'm just back from the war," and he looks sort of like he might be. And from the right, his wife is entering, and she looks worse than he does and has a cane and deeper wounds and bloody. And she says, "I've just come back from the school board meeting."
Front and back of the box.
Okay, thank you. So I don't see anybody.
Cheryl, I put my name in again, Cheryl.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, you are on.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I want to echo those comments about Maria. Just, oops, did I get, okay. I'm sorry, I got a message over here. Maria, you're just so appreciated, and the job you've done and the work you've done, and hung in there when people have been, disrespectful and more. There's really no pleasing everybody right now. So I just really appreciate anybody who's willing to do this. And then I just wanted to also add my support for Yvonne Flores. And I've been helping with her social media, and I'm helping with a few of the candidates. And I just wanted to remind you all of the power of that. Social media, it's a free tool, and these candidates can boost a post with money or it can happen with you. And so if you will get on Yvonne's page, on Pam Court's page, Bob, come on, let's do it, Bob's page, and get on these candidates page and invite your friends that won't hate you if you send them an invite. Just those people, you know, send them an invite. Let's get people following these pages, and whenever you click a like, whenever you share it, it increases the metrics. So those messages are seen more. And so those people don't have to use as much money for that. And so I really encourage you. I'm happy to help you. And I'll put my email in the chat if you need help on how to get on social media. Cheryl, you rock this. Dawn, tonight, you guys, like, you have it. And you're doing awesome about the Zoom meetings. And so I just commend you all for doing that work. And all of us working together, you know, have created all of these amazing initiatives and efforts. And so I believe in the power of you all. So thank you for all your work, and I'm happy to help you share that message as needed. Oh, and we have major trolls on Yvonne's page. That's what I was gonna say. We need some help. The other side is organized, guys. They're running together. They have flyers that are professionally done. They are working it, and they're commenting and trolling on the posts and pages of other people. So we need you on social media taking a stand. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Maria Flores.
I didn't mean to say, I wasn't planning on saying anything, but thank you for your support and your love and your gratitude. I am grateful to you. It was a labor of love. Now we move on. We have 2 new candidates, which I support, and it takes 2 teachers to replace this teacher, right? Good luck. And by the way, there's another school board member out there. Ed Frank is out there. So we're the ones that are off, and now we're going to get some new people in there with lots of passion for what needs to be done. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Maria. That's great.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Eric Walkinshaw.
A third time, oh, sorry. I forgot to mention that the real important thing is to update you on the new facility that we're designing for the Casa de Peregrinos. The facility we're currently in was built, I forgot exactly, it was a while ago, and it was only 4,000 square feet, and it was only designed to accommodate about distribution of about 500,000 pounds of food a year. Well, we're up to 5 million now. So the new facility is going to upgrade us to 12,000 square feet, which is great. And it's right in the same campus as the Community of Hope, right next door to where we are currently at. And we got a lot of funding through the state and capital improvement program. We got a lot of funding through the city. They bought the property and what have you. And we're into our 95% design phase right now with the contractor and working with the city. And we're still hoping to get it up and running in the fall of 2022. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, anybody else? All right, so remember that a recording of this meeting will be in the meeting recap section of our PVA website, which is pva-nm.org. And our next meeting will be September 23rd, which is the 4th Thursday of the month. And hopefully back at Munson, we'll see, but possibly here by Zoom. So thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.
Thank you. Nice job.
Great to see you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mike.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Don, if you want to talk and just stay on.
Thanks much, everybody.
Okay.
Dawn, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you very much. And thanks for running, buddy. I mean, it's a big step, and it's like, as everybody's pointed out, it's a thankless job, but thank you anyway.
I'm running for the power and the glory, Dawn.
Hey, Bob, by the way, I just keep hearing when people find out you're running, they say, man, he was a great teacher. Man, he was a really good teacher. So that's nice to hear.
Thank you for passing that on. I hope I am a good school board member.
Yes.
Yes. So, all right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
And Mike's going to hang on with us for a couple minutes just to talk about anything we want to talk about in terms of improving Judy and, team, anybody else that wants to.
Okay.
We're just going to review here for a minute. Let me see if Anne's still on or she wants to join me in here. Just a sec.
Eric, I think I'm going to try and do that golf tournament on the 24th.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. And I was going to do the fast, but I think I'm going to be out of town that day. Is that the 24th as well? It's not, is
That's
it?
the 23rd. It's the day before. Yeah.
Okay. I have to look at my schedule. I don't know if I'm going to be out of town or not. If I'm not out of town, I'm going to play. If I
Yeah. Oh,
I
good.
get out
Yeah.
of town and I can't, we'll see.
And we're trying to get rid of those COVID pounds. So
I don't know about that.
Cheryl,
I don't know about that.
Nope.
Cheryl,
talk to you later.
good job. Good job tonight. You did well.
Oh, yeah.
Well organized and well presented today,
Yes.
tonight.
Oh, well,
Michael saved our.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought we could do a short debrief.
Yeah.
Where are we?
And thanks everybody. I just think it was really great. Mike, thank you so much. I mean, you've done a lot of these. You got any thoughts you want to share with us?
You do the group view.
It was a good experience and discovered some new things that will make future meetings easier for me in other areas too. I can in fact stop other folks screen sharing.
Great.
There was a drop-in